you were the only presidential candidate who could fit it into her schedule here to come to Standing Rock. This is my fifth time. I kind of feel like I'm living in some dystopian nightmare where North Dakota has seceded from the United States because apparently laws don't apply, treaties don't apply, human rights don't apply. You have people getting pepper sprayed, tear gas, shot by grenades, rubber bullets, illegally strip searched, illegally arrested while President Obama is out pardoning turkeys. The Army Corps came out on Friday saying that as of December 5th, there would be, water protectors would not be able to stay in the main camp. Then they kind of walked it back and said they wouldn't enforce it. Yesterday, North Dakota Governor Jack Dalrymple, who's basically just told police, do what you got to do, because he's invested in multiple oil companies. He said there will be a mandatory evacuation, but just like the Army Corps, that's been walked back as well. When you've been here before, your campaign, your movement is still actively doing things around Standing Rock on social media. When you look at this, what does it say about the broader system? Because to me, this is about more than water. It's about more than land. It's about greed versus humanity.
Yes, it absolutely is. It's about the survival of the planet as well. It's not just what's happening in Standing Rock, but Standing Rock is a microcosm of what is happening all over the country and all over the world. That our basic survival systems, our air, our water, indigenous rights are all under threat. But it's also it's also a frontline battle for democracy. As you say, basic civil liberties and civil rights and human rights are being brutalized at Standing Rock. And I think it's really important to connect the dots here. What we're fighting for around our voting rights, on the right to count our votes and know that they haven't been, tampered with or the result of machine error. Our fight for a verified vote is one piece of democracy. The fight at Standing Rock is another very critical piece of democracy, up close and personal. This is about our fight for our human rights, for our right to protest, for our right not to be assaulted by pepper spray, by rubber bullets, by attack dogs. These are basic rights of democracy that are on the front line right now in Standing Rock. And I encourage, everyone to connect to the struggle, because Standing Rock is standing up for us all. These are the democratic rights that we all rely on, as well as the protection of our water and our climate and indigenous sovereignty. All of us are being impacted by what is hanging in the balance right now at Standing Rock. And it's not only what is most imperiled, I think it's also what is most powerful. And that is the incredible courage and conviction to stand up for what we deserve and the kind of future that we must have if we are going to survive into that future. That is, we need a democracy, human rights, and we need for Mother Earth to be respected and protected. And it's the incredible courage of our Indigenous brothers and sisters who are standing up and leading the way forward at Standing Rock. I think you are an example to us all and deserve the support of everyone out here. And I really want to encourage people to go to those websites to provide support, especially with the winter weather coming in now. There is just a ton of expenses, the legal expenses, etc. We need to support Standing Rock financially. We need to support them in social media and in the media, and we need to be there willing to support them and to put our bodies on the line like they are doing for all of us.
And last question. President Obama, whether you think he's progressive or not, I don't. But he's a very smart man. He knows fracking is not the future. He knows the danger to the planet. He knows how many of these oil pipelines spill, which is pretty much all of them. So he doesn't have anything to lose last time I checked. I mean, he's up in a month, and he's still the president. And this is, everybody, all the media is starting to write the puff pieces about his legacy. He cares about his legacy. I mean, you can't get into the man's mind, but what are your thoughts on his total, dereliction of duty at the basic level to protect the citizens, but also to protect against foreign and domestic enemies? I mean, when you have the oil police, which is what I call them, brutalizing people all unarmed, I mean, that is terrorism. That's what that is. As well as when you are looking the other way, there is no environmental impact study, which is against the law, and he has pretty much kicked the can down the road. What are your thoughts on his role in all this?
I think it's a real shame, and it's a disappointment to those people who believed in the image that has been very carefully propagated since the beginning, that he is a friend to the environment, to the climate, to everyday people, to indigenous people. It's really a 180. That stands in shocking contrast to the image that has been so carefully nurtured about who he is. And, I, like you, have my longstanding skepticism, to say the least, or to put it mildly, about that image. But I think if he is concerned about what his legacy is, and I always cringe when I use that word, I hate to talk about the legacy of politicians when everyday people are fighting for their lives, for their water, and for the survival of the next generation, which cannot be assumed given the climate crisis that is rolling out now on our in real time, right before our very eyes. So, when I think about legacy, I think like, are we going to survive? You know, the science is not looking good. Let's put it that way. And you can't negotiate with the science. If we were acting on the science, we would be immediately doing what is requested at Standing Rock all over the country and all over the world. We would not be building one iota piece of fossil fuel infrastructure right now. We would be in the process of building, massive renewable energy infrastructure, conservation, restoring ecosystems, and creating a deep green economy, including our food system and transportation system, and creating an economic revival and all the jobs in the world that we need, and enabling us to cut our military budgets and our fights for war. We can do this. It's a scam that we are not doing it. It's an outrage that we are not doing it. And I have nothing but, regret and anguish that our power holders, whether they are Democrats or Republicans, are really consigning us to a catastrophic future. And they're doing that right now. That is happening in real time. The decision at Standing Rock is enormous, not only because what it represents for all such decisions throughout this country and around the world, but also because it itself is such a huge conduit for very dirty and polluting fossil fuel energy. So it matters. And Barack Obama, I think, is showing us his true colors. So let's ask him, who really is he for here? And I'd say, we need to just keep the heat on him and get him to stand up and show us what he's really made of.
Thank you so much, Dr. Stein. I think that there's all the chatter is about who will take the leadership positions and who will be the next figurehead of the Democratic and the progressive movement. But I have a feeling we'll be talking to you quite a bit over the next few years. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jordan.
Have a
I
good
think
one.
we are the ones we've been waiting for.
Thank you.
Thank you.